Welcome to CBN. Today we will be talking about the end of the first grading period, house competition day, and Chaminade swimming. Hi, I'm Jordan Rayner.
And I'm Jackson Chance. This is CBN.
The first grading period recently came to an end and things are working out well for Chaminade. Though the young men at CCP are succeeding in school, it is another thing to actually be learning the material. I recently spoke with Mr. Coriel about why students tend to only remember the material they are given for the test date instead of actually learning it. This seems to be the problem with most of the youth in America. I'm here with one of my history teachers, Mr. Coriel, and Mr. Coriel, yesterday in history class, we talked about why students really don't learn anymore and how they're focused on getting good grades instead of actually enjoying school and learning the things that they're taught. Can you kind of reiterate what we went over in class?
Yeah, I think you did a pretty good job in summation of that, honestly. That I think that students oftentimes today have a great focus on getting grades and doing what they're told, doing what the teacher wants. But unfortunately, that comes at the sacrifice of learning and creativity and excitement and engagement in education. Have you found that in your own education?
A little bit, yes.
Uh,
Some classes.
in the classes that you take, are you more concerned with learning the information and understanding it and applying it to your world? Or are you more interested in getting an A and getting out of class?
And to be quite honest, I'm more interested in getting an A in the class than getting out of there.
And why?
I don't know, because I really don't know.
You're paying 20 grand a year to come to a school that is one of the most prestigious, best schools in the area. And I believe we really are here at Chaminade. And you're paying 20 grand to get an A. You go to Ladue and pay a lot less and get an A. So what is it that you're seeking here?
What I'm seeking here is, well, coming to the school, obviously you just said it's one of the best schools in the area. I guess I'm coming here to get a better education.
And what do we do that makes it a better education than others?
Give out more knowledge, and you guys teach differently from other schools, say public schools or other private schools.
Give out more knowledge. I think that's kind of a key phrase. We give out knowledge. I somehow it's thought that I have knowledge and that I must pour it out and fill you up with knowledge. Well, what is the use of all that knowledge? What is the purpose of all that knowledge if we don't teach you how to use it? And something that has always impacted me greatly in education is that we are supposed to teach you how to think. That's a good thing in education. But if you think in a way in which we disagree with, then suddenly you're wrong. So it's kind of opening a Pandora's box as far as I'm concerned. But I would much, much rather have students, instead of asking what is the right answer, to ask questions as opposed to giving answers, per se. Does that sort of make sense?
Yes.
Other questions?
What do you think that you do in class that makes your students engaged? That you think that you could do?
Well, I think that every class is slightly different, and every student is slightly different. What engages you may not engage Thomas Hawat or Jared Taylor, but it may engage them on a very different level. So I think you have to look at every student and every class as a whole in a different way. However, I think that being passionate about one subject is very important, and getting it at a student's level and talking to them at a level that they understand, can relate to, having current events, especially in a history class, that today's current event is tomorrow's history, and yesterday's history led into today's current event is an important thing to try to convey to students. And I think that kind of coming at them out of left field as opposed to just simply lecturing to them and giving worksheets, that you come up with lessons that aren't necessarily kind of stock and out of the box, that you think of things that are different. The things that happened in my life, personal stories, or philosophy that I've picked up over the years or whatever, to just have one more carrot to get an entree, appetizer into the main lesson. But get kids engaged, get them to listen on a different level, and then use that opening to kind of, it's not a trick, but it's an opening to them, show them the importance and significance of history,
Thank you, Mr. Corio. That's all we have.
In other news, Chaminade is preparing for the annual house competition, where all students of all grades compete to try to earn house points for the house that they represent. I had the pleasure of interviewing Julian Mitchell and the man himself, Mr. Denoyer.
I'm Jackson Chance.
And I'm Julian Mitchell.
Julian, why did you decide to become a house captain? What was the thought process behind that?
Well, I thought about being a house captain after junior leadership. They gave us the applications, and after junior leadership, I really just thought I could make a difference in the house, maybe do something different than any other house captain's done before.
Now, what's it like being a house captain?
As a house captain, it's not as glamorous as people think. I don't get to do all of the things that mess with all the students' day-to-day lives. I basically just help with attendance events. I'm basically a cheerleader in a way. I just, yay, house system, yay, Chaminade, everywhere I go. That's pretty much.
How does being a house captain affect your school life? Does it interfere with homework or cut down on study time for tests and quizzes, stuff like that?
It actually makes school life better, actually. I would say before being a house captain, I didn't go to all of the sporting events. I went to a few here and there, but now I get to go to all of them. I get to be in the Red Army. I get to lead the Red Army. So it's really awesome. It makes you really understand what it's like being a student at Chaminade. And then with like homework and stuff, no problems there. Just the same way I've been doing it for the last 4 years.
All right. Thank you, Julian.
No problem. Thank you.
I'm Jackson Chance.
And I'm Julian Mitchell.
I'm Jackson Chance.
And I'm Brett Denoyer, Dean of the Great House.
Now, Mr. Denoyer, what are some of the events we can expect from the upcoming house competition?
Well, a lot of the events are similar events to what we've done in the past. We'll, of course, be playing soccer. I think there's a game called Mush Ball that they introduced last year, which I remember from gym class when I was young. Basically softball but with a giant ball. Over and under is a event. Capture the flag, maybe basketball, and of course there's trivia and some video game playing.
All right. What are some new events we can expect from the house competition this year?
There are going to be some new events. I believe that they involve playing video games of some sort, but I have to actually double check to make sure what those are. So let's just say that they're top secret.
Okay. What are some of the responsibilities that come with being a house dean?
Well, there's a lot. Some of the responsibilities would include basically just making sure that everyone in the house is doing their best. The house system is really about giving students many adults they can go to and trust. They can provide care for them, that know how to do it socially or academically, and to give them good advice. So really, the biggest responsibility that I have as a house dean is just to make sure that every kid is being taken care of as best we can.
How did you become a house dean?
Well, I was a mentor for many years. I was a mentor in the Great House for, gosh, it must have been 10 years. And when the opportunity came, it just seemed like a natural kind of transition to try something new. So I loved being a mentor, but when the idea of becoming a house dean became available, I thought, well, it'd be something to give a shot.
What's an attendance event that students can be prepared for?
Shrek. So next week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I believe it's 7 o'clock each evening. The Shrek musical is going to be going on in the skip. So we certainly encourage all students to come out and to watch the show and to encourage those who are taking part in it.
Well, thank you, Mr. Denoyer, for your time. Back to the studio. Thank you, Julian and Mr. Denoyer, for taking time out of your busy schedule so that I could interview you.
Hi, I'm Jared Taylor. Recently, Chaminade's football team has brought their record up to 6-1 by recently beating U City. We have 2 final regular season games, one at Cape Central, and our final game against Rittner for homecoming. Coach Torrey said that he thinks this is the season that we have a fighting chance to win state. Our football team has a great chemistry, and we're just having a lot of fun this season, from beating SLU to getting our new gray uniforms. And here's a word from our sponsors.
Swimming! Splash! You can join us.
I'm also friends with one of Chaminade's swimmer,
Mr. Brendan Boyette, who is here with us in the studio. Good morning, Brendan. How you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Great. How long have you been swimming?
For about a year now. Picked it up after playing water polo last season.
Did you like water polo?
Yeah, it was really fun.
What's your favorite part about swimming?
Like the workout, teammates are really good. Love the challenge.
That's good. What do you think you need to do to be one of the best swimmers around?
I gotta swim a lot more than I do now. And probably try a bit harder than I do.
What do you think is the biggest challenge with swimming?
Biggest challenge would be just the sheer amount of work that we have to do. We have to come in on Saturday mornings. It can be rough sometimes.
Is there anything else you want to tell us about the swimming team?
We have a meet against not Rickner, but Cape Central, and that's coming up on Thursday, and that's going to be bad. But,
We play football at Cape Central Friday.
All right.
Thank you, Brandon. Have a good season.
All right.
And now it's time for Chaminade's weekly flick review. In honor of the performance being put on here at Chaminade by the drama department, we've decided to review the classical movie Shrek. Shrek is an ogre with an anger issue who lives in a swamp all by himself. A talking donkey is being brought to the town near Shrek's swamp and sold for money. Donkey and a few other fairy tale creatures escape their owner and find their way to Shrek's swamp. Donkey and Shrek become best friends and set out on a quest to save Princess Fiona and to save their home. And for the whole CBN crew, thanks for tuning in.
That's a wrap.